the changes then, because you mentioned Sandbag, we would have expected Sandberg even, not Sandbag. We'd expected her to play. She's been pretty much the sandbag for them, holding off others. Leave it. She's been one of those players that has been ever present this season. But is he saying to the board right there, come on? Well, he is quite clearly. I need more.
100%. I think when you only name that many on the bench, and I've been there, you're sending a message to the board. I think Manchester United have let the women's team down this year. I do. I think that there's an opportunity to bring more bodies in. They're in the Champions League. They're playing across all competitions. So he's got his hands tied. And you can question, players going out on loan. I think I mentioned it earlier with Kira Barry. You know, a couple of players might have been able to stay, but that's such a small bench. You know, it's a thin bench. It's not many options.
Have you been surprised at the players that have left that have been vocal about leaving? Not many have gone quietly. And you look at Manchester United, the badge, or is this what we're guilty of being lazy over? You look at the badge, you look at the club and you think, I'd want to go and play there, I'd want to stay there.
Yeah, I think, look, especially with the Champions League, it's a strange one because you look at that and you go, Manchester United, yes, we are lazy over that. And me as a Manchester United fan, growing up a Manchester United fan, you always have that thing of wanting to play for that club. But actually, when you look deeper into it, they're doing well. Recently won an FA Cup in the Champions League. So you're looking at that thinking, why are they having these players leave and why are they leaving in the way that they are? So strange situation. There's obviously things going on internally, whether that be higher up the chain with the hierarchy, feeling that they're not supported, as you know, Carla's mentioned, and the fact that they should have brought players in. There's no doubt about that. And you look at that bench and you think, wow, they're in trouble here. And this is the fact that Mark consistently keeps coming out saying about January. It's probably obvious that he's not happy with the situation. But for me, you look at the players that are there, they're doing extremely well. But Millie Turner's injured, so that's an issue. Yes, Janssen obviously goes back in, and they've got cover there. But you're just looking at that. You're hoping, one, as a neutral, but also as a Manchester United fan, they'll be sitting there hoping we can't get any more injuries, because if they do, they're in a big problem. Like I said earlier, if they get to January in touching distance, they're thinking, right, we might be in with a chance here because we can add to it. But there's something feels not quite right that you're having those profile of players leave when this Champions League football's played. That doesn't sit right with me.
You said you've done it before, as in when you've not had to play with your full complement on the bench and you make that message to the board as well. Do you think you'll be listened to?
They haven't. He hasn't been, has he? You know, you're right. There's obviously something going on that we don't quite know about at Manchester United because, like you say, there's a lot of players that have left. But they haven't recruited well enough to be competing across all four competitions. And I think that when I say a message to the board, they've got to start listening. Like you said, right? They've won an FA Cup. They're competing in the Champions League. They need more depth. They need more top quality players. We see it across with the men's side as well. But they're not bringing in a level that Manchester United expect historically. We're talking about Manchester United players.
Not that, or is she just not enough on her own?
Yeah, she's not enough on her own. Yeah, she's a great player. Listen, she's an unbelievable player. Someone I really admire. I think she's front-footed. She's got a lot of energy. She's got a lot of quality. But I think they need more of that. I think they need 2 or 3 more.
And you know what I would question with that? Was it something that Manchester United went out to purposely do in terms of find that profile of player? Or were they lucky in the sense that what's going on at Barcelona right now and the lack of money there and everything that's happening and a lot of players leaving? So are they actually just in
Still had to pick her up though, didn't
they? A good situation with circumstance, which you're right, they've done well to pick them up, a fantastic profile of player. But again, I just question the real motives at the hierarchy further up for Manchester United to really let this team go and compete.
The counter to that, of course, is Tissier, who's a player with her 70th consecutive start in the WSL. If we take her back to her Brighton days, it's 116. She stayed, she's captain, she's the sort of ever-present pro.
I love her. I think she's going to be. She'll go on to be, in my opinion, future England captain. I think to be 23 years old, playing that many games for Manchester United, and we're talking about Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in world football. You know the weight it carries, and I think when you speak to people in and around the building, she's the first one in, she's the last one out. Someone even said to me the other day that she's in the gym whilst they're getting out of bed. You know, so it's. You know, she's a top pro and she leads by example. We talked about it earlier in her partnership with Millie Turner, and I think she is absolutely critical to the future of Manchester United.
That was you two this morning, while some of us were eating our breakfast, still in the gym. Critical to Manchester United going forward, critical to what they want to do today.
Yeah, of course it is. And I think, you look at her, the way that she plays, the consistency of obviously the appearances. You only get that when you look after yourself and look after your body. So it'll be interesting to see as they go forward how long it takes Millie Turner to get back, because I think she's a captain that is not necessarily the loudest but leads by example, and they had that great relationship because Millie would maybe be the louder one, and Maya just goes about her business obviously extremely well. So it'd be interesting to see, that relationship with obviously Janssen, if it's as good as the one with Millie Turner.